Welcome back. Boy, this is exciting television right now. River Talk 2.0 via the West Coast. This is your hero, isn't it?
Yes, it is, buddy. The kid with the checkered shirt, the red and white checkered shirt and the blue jeans. That's all he ever wore. I thought, man, look at this guy. Looks like a miniature cowboy, and he's got a cool-looking little dog with him named Lassie. Yeah, we got Jon Provost on the line. And
right.
What's going on there, Timmy Martin? How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing just fine, Deacon.
Man,
and guess what? You just mentioned, I always wore the same clothes.
Yeah.
Well, there was a reason for that, and the reason was it was so easy for the studio to shoot if the kid was always in the same clothes, because they didn't have to, like, oh gosh, what's he going to wear in this scene? What's he going to wear in that scene? So they just did it because it was easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, hey, they're thinking ahead. And then they can always do a lot of outtakes and use you in other shots, right?
There you go, exactly.
Yeah, just don't bring him in today. It's all right. He's got the same outfit on anyway.
All right.
That's cool. Let me ask you this, man. Tommy Rettig was on prior, of course, as Jeff Miller on the show. And I even remember that because you and I are, what, same age?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm about 2 months older than you.
You've been doing too much research. Cut it out, will you?
All right.
But Tommy Rettig was on there, and what a nice guy. And I'm going to tell you why I can say that. I was out in L.A. back in '70, and I was thumbing, and who picks me up but a guy named Tommy Rettig. And I didn't even know who he was. Back then, his hair had grown longer. He had a little beard on him. And he told me who he was. Either it was him or it was Charles Manson. I don't know which. But I hope it was Tommy Rettig. Yeah.
There you.
Now.
Well,
go ahead.
Tommy was great. When I did the show, Tommy was 10 years older than I. So I'm a 7-year-old kid. He's 17. He doesn't want to have a lot to do with me, right? But over the years after the series, we got to be good friends because, when you get older, that age difference isn't as much. And one thing, because I lived up here in Northern California, and he was living down in Marina del Rey down in Los Angeles. And every time I would go down to L.A., we would have dinner. We'd get together. And every time that I would either hang up the phone with him or say goodbye to him and shake his hands, I'd say, thanks for the dog, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
But he was a great guy and a great actor.
He was a good actor.
Kid actor.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him in some old movies. Yeah, he was really a very good actor. So he more or less then became like your older brother. I mean, after the series.
He did exactly.
Yeah.
And when he got out of show business, he got into early computers and became very, very famous. He was one of the inventors of an early form of programming called DBase.
Oh, okay.
And he actually wrote half a dozen books on it, and was even he died very young.
Right. Oh,
and Tommy, a couple weeks before he passed, got a phone call from Bill Gates. And Bill Gates said, I'm going to have my jet come down, pick you up, bring you back up here. I want to talk to you. And they talked. And when he left and came home, Bill Gates offered him a job to be in his inner circle of his head guys. He was that smart in the computer business. And then he had his heart attack a couple weeks later.
Yeah, I mean, that's extraordinary. What a life, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But sorry I digressed a little, but Tommy was a great guy.
Oh, no, that's great because that's where we're talking. I mean, we're going to get back up to you now, but yeah, he was the first, say, master of Lassie, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you came aboard, was Cloris Leachman still playing the mother, or did they bring June Lockhart in then?
Well, Tommy's mom was Jan Clayton.
Clayton, there you go.
And when Tommy left the show and gave me Lassie, Jan sold the farm and she sold the farm to the Martins. Now, the first mother was Cloris Leachman.
Right, okay,
And,
that's right.
Yeah, and then Cloris, Cloris is a little crazy, okay? And, yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I know.
anyway, okay, after about 3 or 4 months, she realized that she had signed a 5-year contract to be on this farm with a dog and a boy, and she said, this is not my show. So she wanted out, and she convinced the producers. So they let Cloris go, and then the next Sunday, if you were watching the series, my mother was June Lockhart.
Yeah.
And so June came in and she said, yeah, I think I can handle being on this farm for 5 years. So then June became my mom for the next 5 years on the show.
And then
5.5 years.
And then she went on and became Billy Mummy's mother.
Yeah, heck, she went from the farm to Lost in Space,
Yeah.
And Deacon, you're gonna love this. June is still with us. June is 94 years old.
Wow.
And I spoke with her on her birthday. She's doing great, except what she told me. She said, John, she said, I've worked all my life. She said, I just enjoy being home now. So, more power to her.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm telling you, what a beautiful lady, huh? And what,
Yeah, she really was.
Yeah, what an honor to
Still
be
is.
able to work with her. I mean, she's from the old school. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she started, both her parents were actors. Jean and let's see, Jean was her father. I forget her mom's name, but she started when she was 12 years old in A Christmas Tale,
Wow.
about Scrooge and all that. So
Well, now,
June is great.
oh, speaking of that, how old were you when you actually got in the business?
Oh, wow. Well, I started Lassie when I was 7.
Wow.
But my first job was so big, the movie so big with Jane Wyman and Sterling Hayden, and I was not quite 3 years old.
Wow.
My second movie was Country Girl with Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly, and I did 10 movies before Lassie, even some live television, back in the day. But you're going to love this. Okay, the way I got started, my parents were not Hollywood people. My
Right.
father was born in Mobile, Alabama, and my mom was born in Wolf City, Texas. So they're both Southerners, and they moved to California. Well, they met in California in 1940 and got married. And we didn't even live in Hollywood. They lived out in we lived in Pasadena. And Mom read an ad in the LA Times that Warner Brothers was looking for a 2 to 3 year old blonde boy to be in this movie starring Jane Wyman. Well, Mom, when she was growing up in Texas, when they'd go to the movies, she loved Jane Wyman. So she thought if she took me on this audition, she was going to get Jane Wyman's autograph. Now, seriously, that was my father told her, you're crazy. And she said, no, I'm going to go get her autograph. And so Mom took me. That was the only reason. She didn't care if I got, she had not a clue. There were over 200 little boys and some little girls. Moms had cut their hair, a 3-year-old, big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I ended up getting that job, and it led to more and more stuff, and then it's history, and it led to a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so Mommy is proud.
Oh, no kidding. But let me ask you this. Did your mommy get the autograph?
She got a heck of a lot more than that.
I'm ready to say, man. Yeah, she's got a star for a son. That's what's so cool.
I know, but isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. But one thing
I mean,
leads to
nobody,
another.
you wouldn't think, you wouldn't even think of something like that could happen. But
Yeah.
it sure did. This little, woman that grew up in Texas on a farm, you know, wanted an autograph.
Oh, yeah, that's insane. Jack, you want to ask him a question before we have to bail out for till tomorrow?
No, I'm just blown away by the conversation. I'm
Yeah.
loving the stories.
Yeah. Very
Right,
interesting.
well, I'm good. Well, let's yeah, we can continue this another time, you guys.
Yeah, because, you know, I've got your book, Timmy's in the Well, and the Jon
okay.
Provost story. And listen, I'm going to tell you what, anything anybody would need to know is in this book. And maybe tomorrow and the next day you can give them your, how people can get in touch with you or whatever, where you're going to be appearing here soon or whatever, maybe out in California
Sure.
or whatever, and around the United States.
Sounds
'Cause I
good.
know you do autograph sessions and stuff like that, so... anyway,
yeah, sure.
yeah, so that'd be kind of interesting. That way you can go ahead and get you at least get you an audience before you get there. What do you think?
Well, maybe I can share a story about meeting him.
Why don't you do that?
And I was such a young kid myself that I vaguely remember it.
Oh, that's exciting.
wow.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, we'll save it for another day.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it
That
now.
sounds good.
Because this
All
is a
right.
family story that I did it, but I don't remember it because I was so young at the time. You know how you go on a family
Yeah.
vacation?
Oh,
but,
sure. Oh, sure.
yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's kind of wacky.
So you met him while you were on a vacation somewhere?
Yeah, in North Carolina.
Oh, I
At
get
a-
it.
Oh gosh. Okay, we got to talk.
Yep.
We got to talk about
Yeah, it's gonna happen. All right, good stuff. Hey man, that's coming up next time. Right now though, let's check out this video from our good friends at the Oaks.